I'm Penny Marshall, and I'm going to be on the Roseanne show. You know, some people think Roseanne and I sound the same. That's ridiculous. Roseanne just won.
What do you mean I whine? I do not.
Do too.
Not.
Two.
Not.
To infinity.
Roseanne delves into Penny's childhood, and it's not pretty.
Who told you you look like a monkey?
My mother.
Then singer Chris Isaak on the next Roseanne show.
Today on the Roseanne Show, it's me, Penny Marshall, feminist extraordinaire Gloria Steinem, and sexy singer-songwriter Chris Isaak. And now, here's Roseanne.
That's good. Daly, did you get a topic?
Yes, yes.
And what would that be?
The topic of the day? Shopping.
Oh, shopping.
Shopping
is really good. Oh, I'm such a good shopper. You know, my sign is Prada with a Gucci rising. Not really. I can't fit in any of that. But anyway, do you have any questions you want to ask me? Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite brand of clothes?
My favorite brand of clothes, well, it depends. Like if it's for real life. Oh, I love that I get to say these names because they'll send me free stuff. It's so cool. Well, I like to go to Lane Bryant because they make a nice size 14 that makes me feel so good. You know, everything fits me there. Because if you go to size 14 like at Neiman Marcus, it's really like a phony size 9 you can't fit into, and that makes me mad. And so I just like Lane Bryant, and I also like this designer named Marina Rinaldi, which I'd love free stuff from her, because she makes 12 and up, size 12 and up. So, and it's really cool. It doesn't look like fat lady clothes. It doesn't have any like star-spangled stop signs or anything on it. It's just nice and plain. Stir in the weird hat.
Do you have any tips on shopping for men?
No. I don't like to shop for men. I have so little time to shop for myself. It comes down to a matter of probably only 4 hours per day, and I cannot waste any of that looking for anything for anyone but myself. Yes, sir, with all the prison tattoos. How long you been out, man? How long you were out? You been out a year?
Yeah.
All right, give me 5 on that. Stay out. Stay out. All right.
You say you're heavy. You're not. You look pretty
Well, of course,
good.
you think I look good. You've been in prison. Sit down. Well, you were a great audience, and that's lucky for you that we have such a great show today. Gloria Steinem is going to get lucky on our show. That's right. You know Gloria needs to get lucky. We have 3 eligible guys for her to choose from. She gets to pick one. Get ready, ladies, because coming up later is the hunky singer, Chris Isaak, okay? That guy's a babe. I'm not kidding, he's a babe. And my first guest is an old friend who I love for 3 reasons. Number 1, she played Laverne DeFazio on one of my favorite sitcoms. She is Hollywood's premier female director. And like me, she loves to spend most of her day in bed watching television. Please welcome Penny Marshall.
Yeah.
How are you?
Okay.
So nice to have you.
No,
here.
so nice to be here. I can't see. I was doing the crossword puzzle.
Oh, and did you win?
And I just started it. I was listening to you answer questions. Chocolate
Candy,
licorice.
Is it good?
This is what I eat. You can't get it here. You have to have it shipped in from New York.
Oh, my God.
Twizzlers, they only have red and black here.
Right.
They don't have
Chocolate.
chocolate.
No, they don't
Tastes
have
like
that
you're
here.
chewing rubber, but you know.
We love to chew rubber.
Wow.
How did you, like, force your way into, like, the whole male-dominated thing out here to do that?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't force my way. I don't get out of my bed, Roseanne. I'm in my bed, the phone rings.
And it's Tom Hanks going, could you direct me in big?
No, that came out with Joel Silver and Larry Gordon. He said, would you take over this movie? And they were yelling at me. And I said, I said, what movie? You know, on the Summer Jack Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi. And I said, I haven't even been in a movie. You know, to know what a movie. I was always in 3-camera television.
Right.
And so read the script, don't tell anybody, read the script, hurry up. And there was a picture that was shooting for 10 days, and I was stupid enough and brave enough. It's an odd combination.
Stupid and brave, yeah, I got that going too.
Yeah. So I was hired on a Friday and shot Monday.
And you didn't even know what you were doing?
No, there was no pre-production, which I didn't know what it was anyway. So I thought it was like cutting a class. You know, I cut pre-production. So I didn't have to do that part. And I just went in and we shot. And
Why did they call you though? Come on, don't be so humble.
No,
Why did they call you?
Because they were on the Paramount lot when I was doing Laverne and Shirley. And I guess they saw I showed up on time and I worked late. I work all hours, I don't care. I work till the show's done. And
How much?
I was responsible.
Okay, let me just ask you this. When you were doing Laverne and Shirley, how much of that did you control, you?
Me?
Yeah, of that show.
Well, we didn't control it. I mean,
You
it's
know
just
how
if
many
we-
ideas were yours?
Oh, well, sometimes if we didn't like dialogue in a scene, that's when we do physical stuff.
Oh.
Like I'd say, okay, get me some salt, put it under the rug. Cindy, stand on the rug. Okay, we'll move you around the room on the rug during this scene. And we wear funny hats, because we didn't like the dialogue.
Oh.
Yeah, so we try to distract you with behavior.
Yeah.
So then
Where'd
it
you
began.
learn that?
It was just one of those, you know, preserve, run for your life kind of things. You know, I didn't know what to do. So, I mean, I'd go like this and talk to her, you know, so that I wouldn't have to say the words clearly. You know,
Why, because you didn't like the words?
didn't like the words.
Well, how come you never did like I did and just blow up and fire everybody? You never got a bad... You
With
never
my
got
brother.
Oh,
it was my
your
brother. My brother gave me my life. I believe in nepotism greatly. I mean, my brother created a show
you
for
couldn't
me.
really yell at your brother.
No, and my father was the line producer, and my sister was a
Say who your
casting.
brother is there.
Gary Marshall. He directed
Pretty Woman. We're going to go to commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to embarrass Penny by telling you what I saw last time I was at her house.
Now, isn't this better than fighting? You get even with Karen, and at the same time, you preserve your human dignity.
Yeah, and then right after we win, I'll just sort of saunter up to Karen with all my dignity and say, Karen. God, revenge.
What great comic timing you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna
Yours
say
is
that.
pretty damn good,
Well,
too.
thank you, honey.
Yours is, other than Frasier, which I watched, yours was the only show that I watched.
Oh, how nice.
Let me just say, I thought the Roseanne show was terrific.
Oh, they all loved it. Frasier's good. I like him.
I like Frasier.
Show us how kind of loony you are in the things that you collect.
Well,
You brought-
one of my things that I collect are wounded animals. But this is the first one I got. Where's the camera? You?
Yeah.
You're not lit. You.
What kind of wounded animal is
This
that?
is a sick cat. See, I got him in Spain. See, he's sick. And so, then I got all these
She has a
dogs.
house full of these things, by the way.
These dogs.
Oh, they have toothaches.
Dogs got toothaches. They got a little paw problem. I got a pig with the gout. And I got a knocked out frog, and this is from an agent, Jimmy Wyatt, who got me a limping dog with a bandage arm and an eye and carrying a baby.
Penny, what are these a metaphor for?
Well,
What does it mean that you collect?
this is just a nauseous one, you know, but he's sick.
What does this mean?
That, I mean, I take in stray things, I guess, and I felt a sick doggy. Well, I'll show you. It started, after that, I got a dog. Where is it?
Where's your dog?
Here he is.
Let me see.
Is that the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life?
He's ugly. He's real
He's ugly. That's handsome.
Did you find him?
Yeah, I found him at the Amanda Foundation, where they save their lives before they're going to be killed.
Oh, that's
So I
nice.
saved their lives. And then he picked... That's handsome. Is that ugly?
He's so ugly.
He's the heir to my estate, handsome. Gets everything.
You're leaving it all to him and forgetting
Leaving
the
it all
kids.
to him. But I bought you some wounded because I know it's your birthday coming up.
Thank you.
So I bought you 3 wounded animals.
Oh, that's really nice.
And
What's
some
wrong
of
with him? He's got
And some of them
bug on
got a
his
bug.
nose.
Yeah, it said they're wounded and with bugs. And I also bought you this.
Oh, you don't like this, huh?
You gave me that for my birthday. I'm giving it back.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's gorgeous. This is
What is that? Look at this. Just look at this.
What are you talking about? This is gorgeous.
It's you? It's not to wear.
It is too to wear. It's for your chihuahua. It's a chihuahua throw.
What do you mean a chihuahua throw? Well, here, you throw your chihuahua.
Yeah,
and I
this is
thought I'd
very expensive. You know,
I figured
this is very-
Maxfield's, I looked.
It's very expensive.
So?
You don't like it?
No. So I thought I'd bring it back to you for your birthday. I figured,
I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. Well, you don't. What do you know? You shop at Kmart.
That's right. And here's $1 million
so do I.
bill.
$1 million bill. Oh, well, thank you. Is that real?
No.
Oh.
But
Well,
I got
this is
that.
real.
I know. I'll take it and take it back, but or
No, I'm keeping it. You gave it to me. I'm keeping it. You don't
well,
like
it's
my
for your
gift?
birthday because it is her birthday coming up.
She's giving me back my own gift. How sweet. When we come back, we'll be joined by one of the most influential figures of the women's movement besides you,
Oh, okay.
Gloria Steinem. Thank you. There are people in this world that come and go, and there are others that leave footprints that last forever. My next guest has done more for women's rights than just about anybody in America today. Please help me welcome Gloria Steinem. How nice. They love you.
You've got a great audience.
Don't I have a great audience?
I'm coming back when I'm depressed, okay?
They make you feel better. And you're wearing the leopard,
I
you and
know.
I both.
What does it say about us that we're into animal prints, do you think?
I think it's some woman thing.
Yeah,
It's
well,
solidarity with the animals that we kill so we can wear their skin. I don't know what it is.
I do think we identify with animals, though, because, you know, they're helpless and they can't speak. And so if you feel like you're in trouble in life, you especially identify with animals, right?
Yeah. You conjure a lot of feelings in me and probably a lot of other women, too.
Well,
Because you're so, the history of everything that seems like looking at you, you've always been there. You know, since I was a teenager, it was always you. And
well, but I feel the same way. You know, I mean, I feel this incredible, crazy gratitude, you know, to all the women and the men, you know, who said, hey, wait a minute, it doesn't have to be like that. You know, you It can be different. It used to be different. It can be different again, because I grew up without knowing that. The 50s didn't tell us that. The 50s were the pits. Nobody should ever get into retro for the 50s. They were really...
Well, it's only people that
trust
were
me,
never
trust me.
there that are so into it.
Right.
The people that were there are never celebrating it, right?
Right. No, no,
It was
no.
real isolation and scary. And
Isolation and repression, and we were supposed to be female impersonators who,
Right.
you know, giggled and laughed and said how clever of you to know what time it is. And
Yeah.
right.
we were supposed to be way too impressed with men, weren't we?
Right, and also we were never supposed to get pregnant outside of marriage, and if we had an affair outside of marriage, we had to come to a bad end, you know, in all the novels and the stories and everything. I mean,
And we could only
really
be
bad.
nurses and school teachers.
right.
We couldn't be like astronauts. I mean, we never even thought about that.
No.
Did you?
No,
Because
well,
you
of course
didn't
there.
go to school.
I mean,
till
I'm
you were
older than you, so there were no astronauts. I mean, I have to
Yeah.
tell you this, but.
male or female.
Right.
Were there cars?
But
No, I'm kidding.
No, yes, but we could only drive with, we could learn how to shift so that the guys could drive with their arms around us.
Oh,
but,
my God.
But we couldn't learn how to drive ourselves.
Really?
Right.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic. It's just fantastic. It seems like it was another planet.
So people should go out and get the film of The Best of Everything. Do you remember that?
Uh-uh.
Well, anyway, it's really, it'll show you how bad it really was. I mean, people commit suicide over men and so.
Over men,
Don't
yeah.
ask, right?
Yeah, because
Right.
when you lost your man, it was like, you know how in Indian culture, the widows throw themselves on the funeral pyre of their
Right.
husband because like they don't have any reason to be alive now that they've lost their man.
Right.
How far did we go in the last? Oh my God, how far have we come?
Yeah, I think it's important to say that because I think if we don't look backward, we don't realize how far we have come, and then we get discouraged about how far we can go. You know, because, but.
And how much farther we have to go, also, huh?
Yes. Yes.
It's
right,
also
right.
still so ridiculous. I mean, like for my daughters, you know, who are in their 20s, and my son who's 20, you know, and then I have a little baby, but it's still ridiculous what they have to go through.
Well, I think, you know, there's so many ways of saying it, but I think one way is to say we've realized that women can do what men can do, and that's a big step forward because that was certainly not the 50s. But we haven't even begun to realize that men can do what women can do.
Right.
So right now, women have 2 jobs. I mean, poor women always had 2 jobs,
Right,
but
at
now
least 2
middle-class women also
Right.
have 2 jobs, and
But
that
not
has
just
to change.
but not just that men can do what women can do. We haven't even come to the beginning of what women really can do when women and men get off our.
Yes, right. No, that's true. I'm for anything that's off its. Right.
Out for anything.
Basically.
You didn't go to public school till you were 12 years old?
No, well, I went a little bit, but not much. And I think that was really helpful because I think we get a kind of brainwashing in school about what girls and boys can do. And I didn't do that, you know, so I just read Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, you know, and thought, well, nobody told me I couldn't do it all. But that's a real sad commentary about school, to think how much it limits us when it should be giving us wings.
Totally, I think it limits girls. I know it limited me. That's why
Did they just tell you that you couldn't, you know, they just laid it out for you, or it was implied?
It was all implied. Nothing was ever spoken. But that's how it was in the family, too, which I want to talk to you about your dad. I want you to tell us about your dad.
Yeah, well, it's hard to express my dad simply, you know, because he was a playmate and he was this very nice, patient person who looked after me at least as much, more than my mother, really, because my mother was ill. But he was also supremely irresponsible in a wonderful way. You know, he always had dreams and everything was going to be great, and he never wore a hat and he never had a job. Those were his, you know, 2 points of pride. He was kind of in and out of small-time show business, and we lived in a house trailer a lot of the time, which is why I wasn't going to school. So, you know, I think, but the point was that he loved me. I mean, I always knew that he loved me. I always knew that he liked my company. And so, you know, I didn't grow up looking for distant or cruel or cold men as many women do because their fathers were distant. So they're still trying to get their fathers to love them.
Well, what was it in your childhood that, I mean, what did you see? Because I know I saw stuff as a girl. that I didn't think other girls or boys or any living person saw about being
Yeah.
a girl.
Yeah. Well, I guess I didn't, I saw it, but I thought that I could get around the system or something. I don't know. But then,
But what did you see?
well, I just saw terrific vulnerability and humiliation. I saw girls and women being humiliated and being physically endangered, being afraid to go out in the street. And out of pride, you know, I would pretend that wasn't going to happen to me, but it was always there. And also I saw what happened to my mother, and she was kind of broken-spirited. Not because my father was not a nice person, but because that's the way the world ran. She had to give up everything she loved and cared about. She was a newspaper reporter. She had to give that up,
Wow.
you know. So I guess for a long time I went...
So you just saw women giving up, you saw your mom giving up her dreams, but your dad had
Yeah.
dreams.
Yeah, he had dreams, and but I don't know how to explain it. I guess I went through life saying, like I think a lot of us do, I'm not going to be anything like my mother. Because I didn't want to admit that it could also happen to me. So now when I hear young women saying, I hope I can have as interesting a life as my mother,
Isn't that cool?
it brings tears to my eyes, you know, because it's just so different.
And a lot of that is because of you.
Well, I'm real glad to have not got stuck in the 50s, you know, and to be part of it.
You pushed a lot of us through that maybe we wouldn't have gone through if we didn't always see you there with those funky glasses and everything else you have going there.
But we do it for each other, you know. I mean, it's just because you did it for me too. I mean, there were you saying, hey, you know, you living in a trailer and, you know, all of this is great. It's part of life, and you can take it to stardom.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to pretend to be some other human being.
Also that it's okay to like not be rich.
Yes, right. Yeah,
Which that was the one that stuck me with all the other. But I saw too when I was a little girl, how come the men got to make fun of the women in my family, but the women could never make fun of the men. So that's where it all came from. Because I'd be standing there, I remember 4 years old, and my uncle would make fun of my grandmother, and he'd say, well, you don't know how to cook, you're a greenhorn, and you put too much grease in the soup. And I was 4, and I'd be like, well, then how come you're eating 3 bowls of it, you fat slob? And my mom, no, this was like intense lessons, and my mother would slap me, and my grandma, they'd yell at me, they'd go, you don't talk to him that way. Be like, well, how come he talks to you that way?
Yeah.
You're older than him, so it can't be an age thing.
But see, that's the miracle. What is there in people that insists on fairness and that speaks out like that? I mean, what made you do that?
Well, because I just thought everything was a bunch of BS. It was just BS, and I knew it. I don't know why I knew it.
But what gave you this built-in BS detector? You know, that's what's so great, you know.
I think it was my dad. Like you said about your dad. My dad had an intense, you know, BS detector, like nobody I've ever seen in my life, but then he couldn't tell about himself. And I think that's my big fear, is that I won't be able to tell in myself. But that's why I have all these kids. They tell me every day, oh, Mom, you're so full of it. Hey, how come you never got married?
Just lucky, but no, I mean. I saw some stand-up woman comic, you know, saying that, you know, she said, people ask me why I'm not married. I just say I can't mate in captivity. And I knew if I said it, I would get in big trouble, but ultimately I couldn't resist. No, but it was because the picture of marriage that was presented to me was one that was designed for a person and a half, you know, not for 2 whole people.
Right.
So I kept saying, I'm going to get married. I'm definitely doing that.
How were you so smart, though? I mean...
Well, why I wasn't smart, it just seemed so unattractive. I mean, it just seemed like I'll only do that if everything else fails, you know. Well, I can always get married. But that's not true now. I mean, marriage can now be a real partnership.
And now you're not going with anybody now. You've had a lot of great men in your life.
Yes, right.
You've had great
I'd like to feel I've
relationships with men.
fairly represented the population.
Very cool. Stick around, because later on in the show, we're going to try to find you a new boyfriend. We'll find out. Are you good enough for Gloria? Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Happy birthday, dear Gloria. and want to date one of my daughters, please make a videotape of 5 minutes or less telling me why you think I should let you date one of my beauties. 3 lucky victims, winners, will be chosen, and we'll fly you out here to go on a date with my daughters. Good luck.
Have you heard what critics are saying about the Roseanne show? Time magazine says Roseanne can be appealingly authentic.
Hello!
The New York Times writes, surprisingly smart and winning. A mix of sharp topical conversation, occasional comedy sketches, and social work without sentimentality.
All right.
Entertainment Weekly says Roseanne remains endlessly fascinating. It's fun to watch her. See what all the buzz is about on The Roseanne Show.
Our next guest has 5 gold and platinum albums to his name. He is one talented and extremely good-looking guy. Here today to sing Please from his new album, Speak of the Devil, Chris Isaak.
I keep listening very quietly. You're explaining your philosophy. I'm a problem. What to do with me? You keep talking, but I just don't see now. What's the problem? What's the question? What's the answer? Where's this heading? You keep talking. Where's it going? There's an answer. I don't know it. Please, you're killing me. Please, you're killing me with all these questions. I've been trying to get along with you. Doesn't matter what I try to do. Once you start in, there's no stopping you now. What's the problem? What's the question? What's the answer? Where's this heading? You keep talking. Where's it going? There's an answer. I don't know yet. Please, you're killing me. Please, you're killing me with all these questions. Get it? Yeah. You're explaining very patiently. There's a long list of what's wrong with me. I keep listening, but I just don't see now. What's the problem? What's the question? What's the answer? Where's this heading? You keep talking. Where's it going? If there's an answer, I don't know it. Please, you're killing me. Please, you're killing me with all these questions. Please, 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 you're killing me. You're killing me.
Hey, if you're in the LA area and want to see my show, call 1-800-485-6885.
I know that somebody's lying. I know that somebody's lying. Give me a sign and let me know.
You're a walking anomaly.
It was amazing. Great. So, Chris, you're very handsome. You've got the rock singer hairdo. You've got the good hair.
Thanks.
And you've got a great voice. But all your songs seem to be about getting dumped. What's up? What's up with that?
I haven't had great success with dating. I mean, like, even, you know, it's like go out on a date. It doesn't seem to pan out for me.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's my
I mean, you're a rock
penmanship.
singer.
I have problems with my penmanship.
No, I mean, there's a lot of women out there who would like to know what kind of a woman you, you know, are actually interested in.
I don't end up going out with, like, supermodels. I always end up going with somebody who works at a deli or something like that. That works out better anyway. You know, you get something to eat at 2 in the morning.
You could get a supermodel girlfriend, though. Do you want us to try to...
Let's call one right now. I don't have that much in common with...
supermodels?
No, and I don't... To be serious, I don't really, like, hang out and go places. Like, people that I've met that are, like, supermodels and things like that want to go... You think, oh, you're going to go on a date? Usually after 1 or 2 dates, they realize that I don't go to, like, openings all the time. I don't go to, like, interesting... What they think is going to be, oh, you're rock and roll, so you're going to go to these interesting places. I say, you know... I go to Safeway and I go to the beach and go surfing. And then that's about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know...
That's pretty dull.
And they're like, you know,
Yeah.
I thought you'd have an interesting lifestyle. I do have an interesting lifestyle. You're blocking the TV now. Hold on.
So you surf? That's pretty interesting.
I surf all the time. Actually, I went surfing. I got up yesterday at 5 o'clock in the morning and went surfing.
Where do you surf at?
I go in San Francisco and, all right, drop in. I'm in San Francisco and,
You can't surf in San Francisco.
oh yeah. I even went to Alaska a couple times.
Surfed in Alaska?
Yeah, it's really cool. I went to Alaska and they got killer whales there. And I mean, and we were in the water and they had killer whales going down just like right by us. You see a fin come out that's like 6 feet tall out of the water. And we were there with some buddies of mine were fishermen. They're Tlinkits, the Indians from that area. And I said, they all know about all the fish, all the wildlife. So I'm asking them, I said, you know, is it okay for me to be out here with killer whales? Don't worry about it. It's okay. They never attack people. So I get in the water, and then later on they're going, wow, that was great that you would do that. That was terrifying for us. They said, no, and they said, you know, I'll show you my videotape. I got a videotape of those whales. They're eating a moose.
Oh, my God.
I said, what do you mean? They said, well, moose actually get in the water and swim. And they said, no, and the whales pulled the moose down and ate it. And I said, the reason they don't eat people is there's never people in the water. They would eat me in a second. And when the whales came by, they do this thing, they spyglass, and they lift their head up out of the water and look at you.
Yeah.
You can hear them breathing. It's like really, really spooky. And he's looking at me, and I started singing and waving my arm because I was thinking, what are 2 things that a seal doesn't do? A seal can't wave his arms, and a seal doesn't know the second verse to any Buddy Holly tunes.
And
They wouldn't eat me.
and that happened to save your life. Ever tried therapy?
It's a shame spiral.
Did you go to my hometown,
I have had
Salt Lake
therapy.
City? You did?
My mom's a psychologist.
Oh, that's why you're messed up then. Now, if your mom or something.
My mom's not messed up. Maybe I'm messed up.
But
she's
children of head shrinkers are the craziest of all.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, they're like totally crazy.
And what accounts for that?
Because your parent is a head shrinker, so you have to rebel and go insane. See, it all makes sense. Anyway, tell me about, you went to my hometown, you made a movie in Utah?
Yes, I did. And guess who's in that movie?
One of my ex-husbands, I hear.
One of my ex-husbands was in that. Yeah, I got to watch him. He was in bed with some Hollywood actress.
Wow, how unusual. Anyway,
Okay, I set you up for that one.
no, but tell me about Utah. What'd you think? Did you feel sorry for me, or were you, like, impressed, or did you like it,
You know
or what?
something? It was like, I went there, and I really, like, the first day you look out and you go, it's just beautiful.
Isn't it
It's just
gorgeous?
unbelievably beautiful. And then I thought, you know, like, you're kind of like the local entertainment people, because there's not a lot of show business. And this, you know, you're in Los Angeles, New York, there's people in show business. So I'm standing out there, we're doing this film, I'm standing on the street all day, and some people would come up and say, hey, Chris, I got your record or whatever, and it was really cool.
Was this Salt Lake?
We were in Heber City.
Oh, Heber City.
Really pretty small, but very cool. And I see this young woman. She's kind of dressed like goth, black, and she's got the makeup and stuff. and she comes over to me, she goes, "Are you Chris Isaak, the singer?" And I'm thinking, all right, she knows who I am, you know. She says, can you get this to Marilyn Manson? And it was like, it was so cool because you realize, like, you're out there in a small town and you think, okay, he's a singer. They all go backstage together. They're all in show business. So I'll give it to Isaac and he'll give it to Marilyn Manson. And I said, you bet I'll give it to Marilyn Manson. You just give me that. So I'm just waiting. When I bump into Marilyn Manson someday, I'm going to go, I have a letter here for you from Heber City.
And I'm sure you will bump into him because he probably surfs. You're very nice. You're very nice and very talented. We'll be right back after these messages.
On Roseanne's Halloween special, meet perfect Catwoman Eartha Kitt.
Welcome back. Okay. Welcome back. Now, I have to ask Gloria a question. Gloria, do you believe that men are becoming obsolete?
No, just selectively. Just Rush Limbaugh is obsolete. Everybody else is.
Okay. Because somebody told me the Y chromosome is starting to disappear. It's getting weaker and weaker. I was kind of excited to hear that. But anyway, we have Gloria Steinem and 3 eligible guys who are just dying to go out with her. We're going to play Are You Good Enough for Gloria? Eligible man number 1, say something nice to Gloria.
Gloria, good afternoon. How are you today?
Number 2. Number 3.
How are you, Gloria? I hope you're well.
Okay, Gloria, go ahead and ask your eligible young man and old man. Ask them a question.
Okay, this is a question for eligible men 1 and 2. Did you vote in the last election? And if so, what party did you vote for?
Well, Gloria, I must admit the truth. I did not vote in the last election. I'm truly waiting for someone who could do something good about this country in the future.
Okay.
Interesting.
Eligible guy number 2.
Yeah, I voted 3 times in the last election. I used my name and 2 of my cousins. But then they threw it all out, so it doesn't really matter because I'm a convicted felon.
Okay.
Yeah, this sounds just like my life. This is the kind of choice I always had.
Okay, now what's your next question?
Okay, when you take me out on our date, tell me how our dream evening would go.
I figure I'd come by, you know, I hope you live close to like a bus. But I come by, you know, I figure it's a date, I fix myself up, and come by, and maybe we go someplace and, you know, get some tall boys, knock back a couple of brews, and then if we're both in the mood, we go for it.
Which one of Batman's villains, wait a minute, this is for one and three.
One and three.
Okay. Which one of Batman's villains best describes your lovemaking? The Joker, the Riddler, or Mr. Freeze?
I think it's the Joker. You'd probably laugh a lot.
Okay, and number 3?
I think I'd like to be the Joker, because I think this whole thing is very funny.
I think you should ask number 1, 2, or 2. Ask 2 also.
Okay, 2, you also get a crack at this question. Which one of Batman's villains best describes your lovemaking? The Joker, the Riddler, or Mr. Freeze?
Wasn't Dr. Tongue one of Batman's villains, too? Checked out on those villains.
Number
I went to
2?
community college.
Okay, so Gloria, go ahead then and pick your. Which one do you want to go out with?
Well, I think that we can take a vote. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to make up my own mind here, okay?
She's making up her own mind.
All right. You know, one at least has some idealism, I figure, even though the guy doesn't vote. What can I say? So, and also a sense of humor. So I'll take one, but with two as a backup, because because we should also always have sex to back up seriousness. Okay.
Woo! Gloria! All right. Well, let's pick who you didn't choose then.
Okay.
Let's meet who you didn't choose. Gloria, you did not choose eligible guy number 3. Let's meet him. This eligible guy is famous in the world of fashion, can dress you up and take you out. If you have a question about what looks good with what, he has all the answers. Meet the man with the most famous list, Mr. Blackwell. Okay, and you also didn't pick, you just picked him as a backup. Eligible guy number 2 is your backup guy. This famous singer-songwriter likes to play a wicked game. With 5 gold records and platinum albums to his name, he likes a woman who's independent, has her own interests. Most importantly, a woman who will make sure his socks and underwear are clean. Meet Chris Isaak.
Pleasure.
And now,
We're together now.
when this doctor, is not in the operating room, he enjoys cooking for that special someone, you like that, riding his powerboat, and exploring the south of France. He loves rollerblading on the beach, and he's an ace on the tennis court. Meet Dr. Mark Whitman. Congratulations. Go over there by Gloria. And I hope you and Mark Whitman have a great time at the dinner at Il Cello. Thank you, Mr. Blackwell and Chris Isaak, for playing Are You Good Enough for Gloria? We'll be right back. My guest today. Thank you, audience. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, I guess.
It was nearly 10 years in the making. Oprah Winfrey's first major feature film, Beloved. Tomorrow at 4 here on Channel 8. Find out what happened when Oprah and Oscar-winning director Jonathan Demme had dinner with 6 viewers who saw the movie. Listen in as they share the powerful emotions that surface after watching Beloved. A very special dinner is served, and you're cordially invited when Oprah